What is up, everyone, and thank you for checking out Don't Say the F Word. We are a pro wrestling and combat sports podcast, and we do not use the F word when we talk about professional wrestling. Shouldn't let your friends use it either. We are live on Instagram right now, and, well, if you're not watching us live on Instagram, you're watching us somewhere else. YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, wherever you're watching us from, wherever you're listening to us from. We appreciate you. My name is Mark the Monster Clementine. As you notice, I am orange. So yeah, I'm a puppet, and I love pro wrestling, and I do a lot around here at the podcast. But most of all, I like doing the intro. I operate the soundboard. I handle some of the social media. I write some of the articles. Do all kinds of things around here. But most of all, I'm the coolest one of the crew. The big guy and his illegal brother-in-law aren't on yet, so it's important for me to point out that I'm the star of the show, and neither one of those humans are. It's me. I'm the big, bright, shiny star. Everyone loves Mark. I get all of the fan mail. I've literally never seen a piece of fan mail come for the big guy. None for the illegal brother-in-law. I just don't see it happen. I've never seen them receive any mail. I'll be honest. I don't know if the big guy even knows where the bills. He gets bills, but that's it. He doesn't get fan mail. There is no big guy fan club. There is a Mark the Monster fan club, though. And people like to send me gifts, and who knows? Maybe I'm going to sign a sponsorship deal. Maybe Prime might be interested in me. Who knows? It's hard to say. But I don't want to disclose too much. I might have some non-disclosure agreements I've signed. And I'm the star. Just a big, bright, shiny star. Maybe I'm going to start selling Mark the Monster merch. Still currently rocking my Bullet Club Chicago hat, pro wrestling tees. Who knows? Maybe everything with CM Punk is work. That could be right. Is there a chance that CM Punk firings will work? Doubt it, but it could happen, right? We had WWE Payback last night, AEW Collision. Then I think Joe may be the only one of the crew here who checked out Collision. I think Joe was working on joining us, so he was unable to get joined in. Oh no. Hope he didn't hear me say he wasn't the star. Do you guys think he heard me say he wasn't the star? Yeah, he knows he's not the star. His beard's not on point like mine. Not nearly as handsome as me. Oh, hey, how you doing, Joe? How you doing, my good friend?
Yeah, on the phone, people trying to call me. That's what took so minute, you know.
Oh, your fans are calling you?
Yeah, people calling me, so I was on the phone for like a brief moment, you know.
How you like my music?
I can't hear it.
Really? You can't hear it?
No.
We got some Bomb Shelter FM going back there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's good. Maybe we won't get copyrighted. Yeah.
There you go.
Lousy YouTube with their copywriting.
Hold up. I hear a little bit. I hear a little bit, but it's not loud.
See, I'll grab this mic. Hear it?
I hear it. I hear a little bit of it.
Yeah. But anyway, can you hear me? I'm really loud now. I'm right in the mic. Oh, not too close.
Yes, I hear you.
What did you think of Payback last night, Joe?
It was good.
What stood out? What was your match of the night?
I will go with. That's a good question. And, I said the best one would be. We'll go with the tag team.
Yeah, that's what the big guy enjoyed. Me and him, we liked that. That tag match was pretty good. Pretty good match. I think he probably stole the show without question.
Yeah, we'll go with the
But let me get the big guy for you. I'm gonna get this music turned off. Let you guys talk. I I think he's willing to have a conversation about CM Punk now. All week he's kept his mouth shut, but now I think he's got something to say. Hey, Jeremy, come on, get in here. Joe's ready to talk to you.
Whoa, whoa.
Give me a second. What? All right.
Whoa. You forgot, didn't you? You forgot.
What'd I forget?
How can you forget?
What'd I forget?
3,
I got my
2.
hat on.
No, you forgot. 3, 2,
What?
1. You don't say the F word podcast. Find us on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, and any other Spotify podcast.
That's right. Check us out. Like, share, subscribe, follow, do all those things. Comment on stuff. Just don't pick weird arguments in the comments section. See a lot of people do that on wrestling pages and other sporting pages. They like to pick a side and like start a fight.
Also, don't be afraid to be paid subscription subscriber. Be a paid member. Subscribe.
Ooh, it'll make you money.
Money.
You can buy a new shirt.
Yes.
See that? John Cena was back last night, Joe.
I know.
Hey, Mark, I thought it was time for me to.
Yeah.
Hurry
up.
Get off my head.
Mark. Run, Mark. Run.
Yeah.
Punch him.
I bit him. I didn't got teeth. That's my hat.
Hey.
Okay. All right, Joe, I'm out. I'm going to go operate the soundboard and the camera.
All right, you do your thing. Hey.
He has officially stolen my hat.
Hey. Your Frankenstein becoming the star, Frankenstein becoming the star.
I mean, those things happen, right?
That's what they do.
Cena, you and him have been on a couple times already this week.
Call it luck. Hey, Frankenstein. Frankenstein needs spotlight too. That's all. Frankenstein needs.
Hey, you can have your Bullet Club hat back. CM Punk don't even got a job.
Ooh. Damn.
I mean, he's right.
He's right.
Joe Brooks is currently unemployed.
Hey. All I can say is this. I called it, but it happened quicker than I thought.
Did you really think they would fire him?
I said within 6 months to a year, not within 2 weeks.
So, before the All-In thing happened with Jack Perry, which I don't think I have to do a recap. Everybody knows what happened with CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
We've had all those issues backstage with the conflict with Jack Perry about the broken glass and not having Christopher Daniels at the show and banning Dolph Ziggler's brother from being there. And me and your sister were talking about it. And they kind of have to do something. The guy's a liability to the company. Like, you're right. She was right. 100% right. He had positioned himself to be a liability in AEW. Still
He did.
An asset, though. I think he's still an asset. Then Wembley happens with, I think at this point, the safest thing to do is just go with whatever the worst case scenario story that came out. I think it's safe to bank on that being the facts, right? Clearly, they resorted back to not just wrestler accounts of the event because people pick sides. I think it went from what Tony Khan seen with his own eyes, and I would guess there had to be security camera footage. We talked about this. They had to have gone to the cameras, right?
He did, because I recapped the whole beginning of the show, and he said he did internal investigation. They looked at cameras. They looked everywhere, and they fear for his safety.
So with that, you have all the things that led up to it. We got to be getting close to the 1 year of this podcast because we started shortly after the brawl out at all. And so much of conversation has been around CM Punk. But I think really since Punk stepped away from pro wrestling in 2014, so much conversation of any pro wrestling podcast, YouTuber, whatever you want to call people who love to talk about pro wrestling, it always came back to talking about CM Punk anyway. Even when he's gone for 7 years, people still love talking about the guy. I just wonder, had this event taken place 10 years ago, exact same scenario, everything happens the exact same, does CM Punk still lose his job? Or do you think that today, in 2023, that there's so much fan involvement in the internet wrestling community having such strong opinions on things that that kind of influences the reaction that a company has to have when someone does something like this?
Yeah. I would say 10 years ago, everybody would get to like 3 strikes. He only went to 2.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's part of me that feels like Tony Khan created the monster that this CM Punk became. He's
Hey,
Tony Khan's a mark.
hey, just go with the facts. The one person you hate the most was right. Eric Bischoff.
Okay, first of all, Eric Bischoff wasn't right.
I'm just saying. He let Tony Khan let him run. They ran it. CM Punk ran it, and now look, Tony Khan's put his foot down and just fired him.
Well, one thing I will say about Eric Bischoff, if there's a guy who understands what it's like to run a company where the inmates are running the asylum and could probably give advice from experience, it's Eazy-E. But I think a big thing right now in pro wrestling in general, not just AEW, I would say it's WWE has this. Clearly, Ring of Honor has it because it and AEW walk hand in hand. Impact has this. The NWA has this problem, if you want to call it a problem, but it can be, and the recent events of AEW have shown us that this is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Every major wrestling promotion in North America is currently being run by a mark. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but everyone running the show are pro wrestling fans. Vince McMahon was not a pro wrestling fan. He was a businessman. He just wanted to be a promoter. Being a rock music promoter failed. He bought his dad's wrestling promotion. He moved into that. Tony Khan clearly is a pro wrestling fan. We all applauded that. We had a billionaire pro wrestling fan buying up the contracts of his favorite wrestlers, like how we buy action figures. And that's what Tony Khan was doing. Shawn Michaels is running NXT. He's a wrestling fan. Triple H is running WWE. Well, next to him is Paul Heyman, both wrestling fans. At some point, somebody has to be the businessman. I think it's a shame for Tony Khan. He had to finally put on his "I'm the boss" pants to fire CM Punk.
That is true. Only thing I could say I didn't like about his speech is he kept talking about how he's a wrestling fan and how he kept coming here all over and over. He just made it seem like he was just a fan. He wasn't making it seem like he was a business person, how you made a right decision. He just kept saying, as the fan being here 30 shows, 30 this and that, making this being the first show ever here. He wants to keep it coming here. It didn't really catch my attention. It just made it seem like he was just more of a fan, more than a business person, how he made the right choice. And he took he said he had to take a lawyers and everybody just tell him, you got fired now. He could have fired him before, had people tell him to fire him. He had the power, but he kept thinking as a fan, not as the owner of the business.
I, and I think there's two problems with that. Like, I think there's a big piece of me that actually like believes that Tony Khan operates the company from a fan perspective first, which is good to a degree for us watching, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that a little bit of him always focusing on him being a pro wrestling fan, I think that's Tony Khan pandering to a very specific subset of his fan base. I mean, you go on to, there's plenty of wrestling pages out there, and this isn't like a point to anyone directly, but there's a lot of them that are very biased one way or the other. Plenty of wrestling fans love WWE, hate AEW. There's tons of WWE fans that hold Triple H on a pedestal as if he's somehow like catastrophically different than Vince, and like the company's so much better with Triple H than it ever could have been with Vince. The flip of that is you have people who love AEW to the upteenth degree and hate everything WWE does and hate that it's a billion-dollar corporation, all these things, and view AEW as something somehow different than what WWE is, and don't view Tony Khan for what Tony Khan really is. He's a billionaire businessman. But because he says, I'm just a pro wrestling fan, so many people online, so many fans, so many podcasters and YouTubers and page writers think that Tony Khan is just like them. They think that they have this connection to him. So they worship the ground the man walks on as if he can do no wrong, as if AEW never does any wrong. So I think that's why he focuses so hard on that he's just a fan. I'm just a fan, and I'm looking at it from a fan's perspective. That could one day be very detrimental to his business if he always looks at it from a fan perspective. You gotta be the boss sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks that him being the boss meant he had to fire a guy who they always put so much on Punk since they signed him. So much has been riding on CM Punk. The entire Collision show's his show. So what happens next with that?
They get a real champion,
right?
And
do they give it its own belt or now? But now, that soft brand split that everyone talked about, that's out the window now, right? Because it wasn't really a brand split. It was people who didn't want to work with CM Punk and people CM Punk didn't want to work with. It wasn't really a brand split. So now we can have MJF on both shows with his belt, right? We don't got to have someone call himself the real world champion just to stroke his own ego.
Mm-hmm. I'd be surprised they actually do that. Like, ooh, the Elite show up next Saturday. It'd be funny.
They should have done it last night.
It was too soon. Too soon.
Was it though?
It was just too soon. Like, you got to think about it like this. If they did show up last night
in Chicago,
that would be like the biggest riot ever. That'd be like, fuck you. That'd be like, fuck you, Tony. You did this on purpose. Fuck you, Tony. Fuck you. This because they find.
So look at Punk since his return. The crowd has been pretty split. Not 50-50. It hasn't been the split of the Cena style split of boos and cheers. But he has gotten some good, quality heel reaction. There's been a lot of boos for CM Punk since his return.
I know.
How much of that arena would have cheered had the Elite come out in Chicago? 40%?
15.
You think that low?
15.
You think Chicago is still that big on CM Punk? Like, you think it's still his town?
It's still his town. If you watch the video of the fan recording the Tony Khan. Well, there's several Tony Khans of them, but there's one fan you can hear in the background when it's Tony talking. They saying "fuck you, Tony, fuck you, fuck you." Like they don't care what he got to say. When they even when they talk, even when he said he fired CM Punk, there was like more boos than cheers that he got fired.
It's one of those things where what's your opinion? Was firing him the right call?
It was only a matter of time. I said 6 months to a year, but 2 weeks, that was quick. That was quicker than I thought. Really, it was.
Let's clear this one up right now. Is there any chance this is a work?
If it's a work, I don't know. I can't tell you if it's good work. You got it on every single social media platform. You got it, the biggest talk for past 24 hours. I mean,
do you think there's any chance?
If he comes back, he probably had to go like to one of them anger management classes. Comes back.
They bring in a therapist from WWE to do anger management with him.
Yeah. And
could you imagine?
I mean, yeah. And best thing is, he's gonna have to apologize in front of everybody and apologize to mainly the elite and Jack Perry now for what he done to this company, to the people he worked with, even Coca Cabana and what's his name? Steel. I forgot his name. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's probably a 0% chance to work. Only because if this was a work, it's good for attention from like social media outlets, things like that. But what does this do to the ratings on Collision?
It's going to drop.
And they already work great. And, I'm very adamant. The ratings aren't a big deal to me as a wrestling fan. I care less about the people who are watching the show I'm enjoying. But I feel like this can't be a work because this is going to initially hurt the product. I think that they didn't necessarily need Punk for a Collision to be successful because I think their talent roster is so deep that there can be other things happening that don't have to focus on CM Punk. And right now they have so many decent stories happening all over the place that this time I don't think it's going to take 8 months for AEW to rebound like it did the last time Punk was out. I think it's safe to say it. Like, whenever last year at All Out, when Punk had to be suspended and he was injured and he was off TV, the following 8 months of TV, 8 months of TV from AEW was bad. It wasn't good at all. I still watched it, but it sucked.
It did.
Now I think there's enough people well established and enough storylines currently happening that I think the show will be. I think all the shows will be fine. Yeah, we'll see a dip on Saturday nights, but as you said, Saturday night's a bad time slot anyway.
But I think nobody's probably going to tune in for a while since he's gone.
You think it'll be that? You think it'll drop off like real bad?
I mean, what they got? You got Ricky Starks about to face Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon.
That's tonight.
Yeah, and what you got? The Bullet Club Gold on there.
Bang Bang Gang.
Then you got Hobbs and Merrow. And then I don't know about the House of Black.
That Darby.
And the House of Black. I don't know how they're gonna do with the trios being on. I don't know if they're on Dynamite. But hey,
Well, we've had the Acclaim have been on Collision. And I think that's one kind of really good thing is now we don't have to pretend there's a brand split. So those can kind of travel back and forth a little bit. All the talent can travel a little bit back and forth. I get that most of these guys don't want to work 2 days a week, but I think there's a little bit more opportunity now because now the Elite can be on both shows if you need them to be to help fuel something. I think it opens things up, and I hope the drop off isn't major because there's a lot of very, very talented wrestlers on Collision. Darby Allin's on Collision.
Oh.
He could be the face of the show.
Not Darby. Not Darby.
Yeah, Darby connects with multiple demographics, man. Dudes like Darby. Dudes are like Darby. He's Spike Dudley, but way better. You can put him up against any of the Giants. A good Darby and Miro feud, I'm here for. Darby and Will Hobbs. Darby and Brian Cage.
I think Miro would be better at the face. Miro could be better. If you do it the right way, Miro could be the face of Collision.
You think? Don't let the Miro figure behind me influence you. People be mad, but Miro ain't.
Oh damn!
I'm sorry,
Oh,
he's not. The best thing of his career was Rusev Day. Other than that, he hasn't been able to get over in any other way. And how much of that was the guy who was with him just singing Rusev Day?
Okay.
You think the Redeemer promos are great? Do you enjoy those?
They got some good effects to it. They got some good ones to it.
I struggle with some of those Redeemer promos because I feel like we're dealing with a guy who's trying to cut a Raven promo without a clear understanding of what the Raven promos were. I don't know. No, I don't. And it's not that I'm not a Miro fan. I think he's very talented in the ring. I think the character and the presentation in the ring is very convincing. But man, I don't know if he could be the face of the show.
Give it time. It can work out. Give it time.
It definitely could, man. I was way wrong about Judgment Day. I was way wrong about Dominic Mysterio as a heel.
See?
Now they're draped in gold. Or I guess silver. Technically, those tag belts aren't exactly gold, but
here we go. Hey, but guess what? At the last night, the Judgment Day got a new fan. The old man.
Your dad likes Judgment Day now?
My dad likes Judgment Day now.
What did it?
I don't know. I told him he started watching the matches. He wasn't feeling the whole tag team in the, I guess, first 15 minutes when he did the little, jersey switch and all that stuff. He wasn't feeling it. But then once he started watching more,
that was fun.
But then once he started watching more into it, he got into him because he felt as though Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were the good guys, and I was rooting for them as the good guys. So he pictures Judgment Day as the heel. So as he watching them going, tearing each other up, he started liking Dominic Mysterio. He saw Rhea Ripley. He's seen her, how she ran to that barricade with him. He's like, that's how the women supposed to do it. That's how they. I'm like, okay, thanks, Dad. Like, and he just started watching them going on. He said, yeah, I like them. That's how they do it. That's how the women supposed to do it. Just get in the ring, get in the way, help them win, cheat to win. I'm like, okay, thanks, Dad.
I mean, that is his opinion, right? He thinks that the female valet should just be interfering constantly.
That's his theory. So I ain't gonna argue with him about it. So at the last night, he became a fan.
I wonder who produced that match
I
because
don't know.
it was way more physical than I honestly expected it to be, and they gave them a lot of time for that match. That was a lengthy match.
That was. I think they said that was dedicated to Terry Funk. So
Yeah,
who was the hardcore of the producing? Probably
maybe,
Jamie Noble. If I had to guess.
maybe Noble.
I think Jamie Noble probably did it.
Why are we wondering? Time to look that up.
But yeah, he was into her. Then when he seen him, Rhea in her match, he wasn't. He was like, ugh, it was okay match with her, but yeah, he's a fan. It's either Noble or Finley. They're my two pick who probably produced it. Noble or Finley.
See, will the Wikipedia tell us? It does not tell us.
Yeah, probably up later on today.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely didn't feel like a Nick Aldis match. I don't think he would have put it together like that. How did you like the John Cena involvement as host and special guest referee?
Mm, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was funny because you know him and the Miz. That was good. That made me laugh. That had my day going for like first 10 minutes because they were going back and forth.
Back and forth was funny. I thought that was a really
And how the Miz just kept throwing stuff at him, talking about being a Barbie character, telling him telling him to stop dressing like Teletubby. I'm like, yeah, there we go. This is what we talk about. This and Cena just took it, didn't make phase him or nothing. So
I know a lot of folks were upset that LA Knight didn't win Money in the Bank and didn't get the briefcase, but I think moving him into the Miz feud, yeah, that's a good way to help escalate the guy. I mean, that's the general way to go, right? You get the Miz feud to kick things off, and we start moving into some other stuff.
you know the one thing people don't give the Miz credit. Nobody gives the Miz credit because he's been there for like 17 years plus, and no matter what, any new face that comes in,
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of people don't give the Miz credit, and he's a really good worker. And I think it's important for guys who are trying to get past the mid card to have a little Miz feud. I think it's beneficial.
I mean, yeah, think about it. Not be over, but he cares about the business.
Yeah,
So putting LA Knight over, that's like the milestone. You take out a major star in the business. The Miz.
yeah.
Then you move on.
Lifetime winner, multi-time world champion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you think of Rey Mysterio, Austin Theory?
Mm. I missed that one. I ain't watch it. I missed it. I didn't think it
It
was.
wasn't a terrible match, but it just felt a little clunky. I still like Austin Theory. I still like there's still a lot to do with the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know I don't know where we go next with Rey Mysterio as U.S. champion. I don't think there should be any internal feuding with the LWO. I did like that they had the Pittsburgh World Order shirts on. That was cool. I hope that's a thing. As we get more live events, I hope they come here with the opportunity to get a Cleveland World Order shirt. That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to happen to go to Nashville. Is the Nashville shirt still NWO, Nashville World Order? That's still what they're going to do?
Yeah, they might do that. Yeah. But
I don't
then
know. I don't know what you do next with Ray as the U.S. champion, where he goes to that mid-card title.
Mm, I think who on there? The Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller. He might go after it.
Do you enjoy Grayson Waller on TV? Not just the talk show, like the whole package. Him doing the Grayson Waller effect, his matches. Do you feel that character? Do you see him being a mid-card title holder?
I see him being a mid. Yeah, he can do it. His character is good. Promo, good. It's just that finisher, just going in the ring, doing that roll into the stunner. Just he come up something better than that.
You don't like that?
I like it, but then you just know it's going to happen.
I think it would be a great transition move or a great random finisher he doesn't use all the time. Because you're right, you see it coming. It's not out of nowhere. It's not a quick stunner. It's not a crossroads. It's not a spear.
Yeah,
I think he should use it occasionally whenever there's the opportunity for it. But it looks cool as hell, though.
it's cool, but I just think if you want to have a good finisher, you gotta have it out of surprise. So every time he's outside the ring, you know he's about to go for it.
Yeah. I think the spot for him to use that would be in a situation where we're looking at a possible double countout and his opponent gets back into the ring before him and the ref's 9, he comes in before the 10 count, hits that move, and then wins the match. That would be the way to have that happen.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Then other matches, I don't know, maybe give him I don't know. I don't know what other finisher do you give a guy whose character is like that, built like that?
Well, can't take RKO already taken, so you can't use that. he he could do something like in a between like the RKO and the stunner, like try to tweak it, try to put them both together, but tweak it just a little bit.
You know what finisher doesn't get like it's fair credit? Perry Saturn's Death Valley Driver. Give Grayson Waller that. He could even modify it. He could be a rolling Death Valley Driver. He could do something else. He could put in a little twist on it all his own, but it's a great finisher. It doesn't get used as a finisher enough.
Yeah. Or since I'm just saying MVP retired, you know, he could do the playmaker.
Good.
He could.
Yeah. Title match last night. I'm surprised that they had Seth win.
I kept watching it to the end. My dad watching it with me too. Well, I told him he thought I was ahead of him. I said, just wait. He said, wait for what? Something's about to happen. I felt something about to happen because Shinsuke just rolled out the ring real fast and it looked like something was about to happen. Nothing happened. They just went off the air.
Yeah.
I kept telling him, like, he like, what's gonna happen? Like, they about to attack him or something about to happen. He like, are you ahead of me? I'm like, no, I'm not ahead of you. We watching at the same time. It's something about to happen. Nothing happened.
I think they could have had Muda be involved. There could have been something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I was like, just wait. Look, it ain't no way. Look at it. They're about to show the broadcast. Let's say it's been pay-per-view, then they're going to do it. And like, really, nothing.
So I think probably somehow the biggest news of the entire event last night was what was announced at the Grayson Waller effect that now main event Jey Uso is on Raw, not SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
And he was brought to Raw by Cody Rhodes.
I know. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. When Cody said he made a deal, I knew what it was.
So I thought he was going to say he's going to SmackDown.
No, it's gonna happen tomorrow.
Right? I kind of think, and I put the article up, and I really think this is the move to get Cody to SmackDown, and it's just he split up the bloodline enough that now he has the opportunity to go after Roman and feel like it's a little bit more fair.
Yeah. Cause I was thinking about it. When he said that, I said, that's how he gonna get to SmackDown. They swapped. They're gonna do it tomorrow.
And this is how we keep Jimmy and Jay away from each other until WrestleMania.
And Roman, Cody, 40.
Yeah. So hypothetically, we have Cody Rhodes who's probably going to leave Monday Night Raw and go to SmackDown. Then who do we have Seth Rollins feud with now? Does he feud with Jey Uso?
I think they're gonna do one more run with Shinsuke.
But on what grounds, though? I mean, I guess he feels as though that it was a fluke that Seth hit the stall.
Yeah. Or tomorrow night he comes out, Seth does a speech, and Shinsuke just attack him one more time to get the feud going. One more run.
Just run it back with him and Nakamura, and then move on to another feud. I can see it. Because our next premium live event is Fastlane in Indianapolis. So that title match doesn't have to be a major situation, I guess. Would you book that, take the belt off of Seth Rollins at Fastlane, and have a new champion leading us into Survivor Series, then into Rumble? Or do you let Seth beat Nakamura a second time?
Okay. Two things I got to think about this. One, I would probably keep it on him because you don't know what the Survivor Series is going to be. Is it going to be like a team or like champion versus champion? Don't know just yet about that. But if it's not champion versus champion, then yeah. Let take the belt off Seth. Let Shinsuke win it. Because Seth, poor guy, he needs to get some serious treatment done for that back. He needs time off. He really needs time off.
I think the belt should probably come off Seth at Fastlane, but I don't think it should be running back the Nakamura match. I think it should be Seth Rollins versus Jey Uso. Let Jey take the belt off of Seth, and as we come into Survivor Series, Jey Uso's the heavyweight champ on Raw, Roman's still champ on SmackDown. One more match. Bloodline interference on both sides. Thing ends in a whole thing. Put it off a little while longer.
That's not bad.
It's just something to keep Roman busy until we get to WrestleMania 40. Because, I mean, what's Roman going to do between now and WrestleMania that is going to feel like Roman could lose the title? Nothing, right? So if you put him in there, you have him and Jay having a match, champion versus champion, Survivor Series, that at least feels heavy. Titles aren't on the line, but it's champion versus champion. One more time, no belts up for grabs. So Roman could take the L. Roman could get beat.
He could.
Or the whole thing just ends in a mess and move on from there. But it at least kills a little time. You know, Roman's not wrestling in December.
He's not? Oh, yeah. Not. Yeah.
At least he's not supposed to be. I mean, I'm sure maybe they'll have him do at least, he may make some appearances on SmackDown, but from my understanding, Roman's not supposed to be booked for matches in December.
He'll do appearance.
Yeah. He'll have a match at Rumble. And then nothing in ring from Roman except for maybe a tag or something until we get to Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Jey Uso should probably be the next feud for Seth Rollins. Especially if Cody's leaving Raw. I don't think Cody's going to leave Raw, though.
It's going to look. Did you hear what he said? He made a deal. The moment he said he made a deal, he said he signed main event Jey Uso. I knew he made a deal. He had to switch. He jumping ships. That's the only way it could happen.
Yeah, I agree. It's got to be where they're going. I just don't know that I agree with it. Because somehow the Cody Rhodes character feels right on Raw.
But
Cody don't feel like a SmackDown guy.
I know you don't. But you gotta think about it. If you want a babyface, your babyface gotta be on SmackDown.
If you want to sell the TV rights for SmackDown to the highest bidder, I understand why you'd move Cody Rhodes over there.
Yeah, because right now there ain't really a babyface on SmackDown.
What are you talking about? Yeah,
I mean, they ain't like
the biggest star in the world.
Roman Reigns.
Everybody's saying L.A. Knight.
Yeah, he is, but they want a real long time babyface.
Yeah, and then there's no better babyface in the business today than Cody Rhodes. Even though I know you think he's not on the Cena level.
He's not on Cena. No.
Mark told me you said that.
I won't tell you why I said that. So I can just put it out there. Had to think about it. Just think about this. Who went 17 straight years being a babyface, didn't just join any group that was a heel just to be on popularity. Straight babyface. Went 17 years. Straight babyface. Didn't change in appearance, nothing. Same style. Same
Ricky the
everything.
Dragon Steamboat.
Huh?
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Career babyface.
Career babyface, okay.
Other than that, I mean, Cena was initially a heel.
He was. But then after the heel drop, he went straight almost 17 years as a babyface.
Yeah, nobody else has done that.
Nobody else could do that. Even when he wanted to go back to the heel, he couldn't do it. He kept the straight babyface going on strong. Hate him, boo him, whatever. You love him, you dislike him. Straight babyface.
Do you think at any point they turn Cody Rhodes heel in WWE?
I mean, if you want to keep him a babyface, you can't do it. But
I mean, they can't do it like how he tried to do it in AEW and tried to, I'm not going to be a heel, was this heel turn? Because very few people picked up on that's what was happening.
Yeah. But also, you got to think about it. Cody is better as a heel than a babyface. Even, hey, go. If you go back, look at the smoking mirror, the face. He was good as a heel.
Was it Josh from Cody Rhodes and he wore the mask?
Yeah, he was good as a heel. That was his best character ever. If you look at all the characters, that was his best one. That heel persona one. That was the best.
You think the broken Cody Rhodes after he was dashing is better than the American Nightmare?
Yes. That was his best character.
Huh.
Even if it was even if it did go on for like a short period of time, he made that heel character worth watching. He made you hate the character, but like it at the same time.
I do think it was really good heel work. But man, I like the American Nightmare character. And even, I almost feel like what we have now with Cody, as much as I enjoy it, I almost think that his character on the Indies, that version of the American Nightmare in New Japan and Ring of Honor, just after he left the Fed, I think that might have been his best character because that was the one we were all behind, and that was the one that pulled me back into pro wrestling. Was that Cody Rhodes character? The guy who left, he left WWE to go and bet on himself and do his own thing, and I think that character, which I mean, what we have now is the evolution of that guy. That guy just evolved and made money.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that character in and of itself is because it was so rebellious, and I guess that's probably what captivates a lot of wrestling fans into being CM Punk fans, but not liking Phil. I like that rebelliousness of that Cody Rhodes character, and I don't think you can't recreate that for TV because that was so organic. But that was my favorite Cody Rhodes. Aside from just enjoying the American Nightmare because it just makes me feel like a kid again because it just feels so Hulk Hogan-esque, and he just the unstoppable baby face. All right, okay. Be overanalyzing this entirely. That's possible too.
That is possible too.
So we both think Cody leaves Raw Monday, goes to SmackDown. We're split on who Seth feuds with next. Judgment Day's probably gonna get new belts, right?
Mm-hmm. Or they split them. Or they split the belts.
I would like for them to get new tag belts with purple straps.
Okay.
Just because I think that would look really cool. And if they do that, I really hope they make toy replicas because I'd like to have those. I don't want the real replicas. I'm not giving them $300 for a championship belt. But the toy ones I'd be down with buying.
You know what? I just realized that I know who could face Seth. Cody also, on the Grayson Waller effect, he also represent Carmelo Hayes. So it could be Carmelo Hayes going to Seth next.
When is the next NXT event? No Mercy. When is that?
Ain't that Tuesday or something?
Is it this coming Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday.
So I guess you could have him. You could do nothing with Seth this week. Carmelo drops the strap on Tuesday, and then next week shows up on Raw, challenge Seth.
I mean, Cody seemed high on the pay-per-view last night. He seemed very high on him.
Yeah, Carmelo Hayes worked with Cody a lot after his injury to help him get ready to be back at Rumble. Cody seemed to, not necessarily care for the fact that Carmelo Hayes is friends with Flip Gordon, but big time, big friend of the show. Flip got to interview Flip, so that was always fun. But I think I could see them calling up Carmelo. I think that would be cool. I think we could give Seth a week of not having someone for him to feud with, and just kind of lay the groundwork of, it's good to have a week off, but back and rest a little bit. We'll see who's stepped up. And
yeah, that'd be great.
I guess they could see who stepped up and open up a tournament for next Monday's Raw or a Battle Royal or something silly.
Yeah. I just don't know how they would do it. That's the downside. Don't know how to do it. Don't know who they even put in the Battle Royal if they did have one.
No clue. But I don't know how. There's no one storyline-wise on Raw who you could say that person could be the main event right now. That isn't tied up in something else already.
No, can't think of nobody right now.
Right? So it needs to, if it's not going to be something random we set up with a tournament or a battle royal or just pull someone out of thin air, the only option is Jey Uso.
Yeah.
unless we run back Nakamura. And if we run back Nakamura for him to lose again, that hurts that character. He can lose once now and not be around Seth for a while, and 6 months down the road, bring him back into the title picture, and he's fine. If Seth beats him twice back to back, that ain't good.
I know. I just say, if they do it, I think Jimmy should come out. No, Jay. Jay should come out the moment Seth comes out doing his promo, just to make it start up.
Yeah, have Seth open the show, and Jey Uso interrupts it.
Yeah.
Doesn't even let him sing.
That's how it should be. This is my opinion. That's how it should be. If you really want Jay to fight Seth at Fastlane, that's how you start it up.
I agree with that. Are we making any predictions for All Out tonight, or does All Out really truly not matter?
All Out don't matter. They already got out what they wanted. Ain't nobody probably gonna tune in because no more CM Punk. So hey,
Come on now, people are gonna tune in.
some gonna tune in, but I don't know who want to tune in. Besides tomorrow Labor Day, who gonna put with the family?
I mean, Labor Day. Who does stuff on Labor Day, Joe?
I'm saying, just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
Well, let's take a look. We got
The main match I know is gonna be Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley. That's probably the main match everybody wants to tune in for.
that should be the main event.
I think that is the main event from what I heard. That's gonna be the main event of the night.
Yeah, so we got that. I imagine Mox is gonna win that,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Mox is probably already bleeding. I think he's already bleeding before this match even gets started. But Mox should win that. We have Powerhouse Hobbs and Miro. Who you got for that one?
We'll go Miro.
I kind of hope that match actually just kind of ends in a no contest. I hope it just gets really out there, out in the crowd. They break a bunch of stuff, and we can kind of have this be a feud that carries on for a little bit with these two big guys.
Mm-hmm.
Samoa Joe is defending the Ring of Honor TV title against Shane Taylor.
Ooh. I can't give you an answer on that one.
It's got to be Joe.
It got to be Joe, but they're both good. They're both good, though.
Yeah, but I think Joe has to kind of keep this belt for a really long time, especially after the events of All In. I think Joe himself as a leader, and I think he should probably just keep the belt, unless he don't want it. It's Samoa Joe. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
We got Luchasaurus and Darby Allin.
Mm. It's for the belt, right?
Yep. For the TNT Championship.
Nah. Let Darby have a championship. Let Darby have the first championship.
He's been champion before. He's had that before.
I know, but it's been a while since he had it, so
I think Darby should have it. I think he should be the face of the show.
Yeah, I know.
And then you can do Luchasaurus and Christian Cage. You could have that feud happen now.
Yeah.
We then have FTR and the Young Bucks versus Bullet Club Gold, the Bang Bang Gang.
I want Gold to win. I want Gold to win so bad, but I just feel like FTR and Elite they may win, but then the only way they'll win, they'll lose if they just turn on each other during the match.
This match needs to be put together in a way where right out the gate there's conflict between FTR and the Young Bucks. That's just how they need to book this. They need to be not getting along. There needs to be miscues. They need to be fighting with them because the crowd is going to overthrow throw this match.
Oh no.
So Bullet Club Gold absolutely positively should win this. And it should be because the FTR and the Bucks simply can't get along. And it should set up a best of 7 series between those two teams.
I ain't seen that in a while. That's a 7.
That's the only way to go, right? I mean, FTR and the Bucks, what are you going to do with them? It needs to be a best of 7. I know they've done things with the Bucks in a best of 7 series, but I say a best of 7 series, everything's a gimmick match. You need people wanting to tune in to your product. Now you have no CM Punk, so everything should be a gimmick match.
Or the only way they could do this is they had their first Iron Man tag team match.
Ooh. Shit. I like that idea. That's a good idea. Yeah. See, now I really want that to happen.
I'm just saying.
Iron Man tag match.
You never seen an Iron Man tag match. You never seen an Iron Man tag match.
Has that ever happened? I've never seen that.
That's why this popped in my head, like your very first Iron Man tag team match.
We got Better Than You, Baby, defending the Ring of Honor tag titles. Who are they defending those against?
Dark Order.
Dark Order's got that. So, I mean, Adam Cole and MJF are keeping those belts then, right?
I mean, it would be nice to see the Dark Order get some gold, you know.
It would be,
but
it ain't going to happen.
I mean, look, I'll say this. If the Dark Order wins, this could start up the feud for them to have the single belt championship match again. That's the only, but let Adam Cole and MJF have the belts, keep the belts. That's
off the top wrestling suggest maybe it'll happen in a 3 Stages of Hell tag team match. That may have been where they had like an Iron Man situation happen.
Maybe.
I can't remember what happened. If we're gonna do it, yeah, I think Kingdom should be the ones to take the straps off of Cole and MJF. I agree with that. I just can't remember an Iron Man tag match ever happening, and I think, man, if we're gonna do one, it's FTR and the Bucks would be the ones to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a damn good match. And then it could end in a draw.
It could, yes.
That'd be good. We also have Kenny Omega versus Cheetah. And like, it pains me to say that.
Uh-oh. You going with Sheeta, ain't you?
Yes, I am. And I'm going with him because I guess if we're giving Don Callis a faction, I guess he kind of has to win, right? Mm-hmm. But another reason is that, man, I don't feel like Kenny Omega's doing anything important right now and hasn't for quite some time. But like, since his return, like, I just feel like Omega's just spinning his wheels. I don't know what there is for him to do, especially now that we can't have the Punk match.
Yeah.
Have the Iron Man match end in a draw, and then they can set up the best of 7 series. Yeah, that's probably the way to go.
There you go. See? I came up with a great idea. So now I have to Google that when we get off this podcast. See, had there ever been an Iron Man tag?
Ever happened? Man, what do you feel about Kenny Omega right now in AEW?
I like him, but it's not him. It's not the one everybody knows. You got, what's good what said? You now got a laid back, chill Kenny Omega, who just like, okay, I'll feud with Jericho. I'll feud with anybody. He's not really having to build up a storyline anymore with somebody. He just, I'm here. I just want to, and I get he's in pain. His body needs to cool down, relax. I get it. I ain't mad about that. I understand that. But
he says he feels great now. He says he feels like he feels like he's not missing a beat.
yeah, but if you think about it, he might mean, but right now he's probably thinking like he don't want to go back to that crazy side, doing them high flips, high moves, hurting his body. So right now he want to chill, relax.
It kind of bums me out that what most people have seen from Kenny, if, you're more mainstream wrestling fans, they've seen Kenny in AEW is a very far cry from what made Kenny Omega the best wrestler in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think he's been able to get to the level he could have, and I think the pandemic kind of screwed a lot of things up for what we could have seen from Kenny.
Yeah.
And then you throw in the injuries that he sustained while being the belt collector. That it reminds me of Muhammad Ali. Most people's version of Muhammad Ali is after the suspension, after his layoff, whenever he got known for his ability to kind of take punishment and a more conservative style of boxing is what most people's memory of Muhammad Ali is. So after he got in trouble for not going to Vietnam, and then he comes back, and he got older. And I think that's what happened with Kenny Omega. In a short window of time, Kenny Omega got older. And he's not able to deliver what those of us who followed his career in New Japan seen then. And I think if you Omega Okada won, if you show people that match and that Kenny Omega, if they can understand like why he's the best bout machine.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said people see a laid back, chill Omega than what 5-10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's feeling like the Elite will put themselves over because they are EVPs. One thing with the Elite being EVPs is I think they put too many people over, especially the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks have done the honors for way too many tag teams, and they put FTR all in. FTR should have won. Yeah, and New Japan style is a whole different level of pro wrestling. That's for sure. And I just think a lot of people didn't get to see Kenny do that style. And now I think AEW has the potential to sign the best professional wrestler in the world with Will Ospreay.
I don't think he's gonna do it.
Do you think he stays in Japan?
If you watch all the interviews and talk, he doesn't want to leave. He likes being close to family. He likes being home. He doesn't want to travel the world like everybody else.
I get
And if he does, if he does change his mind, come over there, he said he'll have to find a place close to home and wouldn't want to go every state, every night.
So then we know Will Ospreay's not going to go to the Fed. He really is the only option if to compete in North America is to do AEW. Or just keep working on the partnership that New Japan and AEW have. But what's your opinion? Do you think Will Ospreay's the best wrestler in the world today?
See, this is gonna be like one of the top debates questions because it's gonna start an argument. So I'm gonna say he is. I'm gonna say he is. Right now, he is. He's like in the top three. I ain't gonna put no order, but
his match with Kenny Omega was fantastic.
Yes,
for both.
He's like in the top.
I'm not taking anything away from Kenny in that match either, but Will Ospreay's amazing.
Yes, I'm gonna say he like in the top 3.
Who are your top
Not gonna put in
three right now today?
top three. Okay, we'll go with.
Or in-ring
Oh,
ability alone. Just in-ring ability.
we'll go with. Not in any particular order, but we'll do Offspring, Omega, and sometimes Rollins when he's perfectly healthy. Rollins.
Right now, today, Will Ospreay, Seth Rollins, Jay White.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of room for Jay White to grow in AEW. I think he could be a guy to kind of set himself apart from the pack, especially on Collision if we keep going with a soft brand split, which I don't think we should do. But I think there's a lot of Jay White could really be one of the guys on Collision or just in AEW in general. I feel like he could be the backbone of the Collision show. We're keeping a brand split going. Jay White could be the heel champion on that show if we give that show its own belt.
He could.
Got the Bullet Club around him. You have a huge opportunity with him to feud with Bullet Club proper in Japan, Dave Finlay.
All right. Yeah. But you'll find out next 5 months where Offspring be at.
I really hope he comes to AEW. This is fantastic. Can you see this? With the high side of the ropes? How do you fire on your day off? That's hilarious.
Yeah, I love it.
They don't know we just shared that live on the podcast. But yeah,
Yes.
I think there's ways to just keep building a Collision show. I think there's a lot of talent. I think there's a lot of cool stuff they could do, especially if they can sign Ospreay. If you want to keep soft brand split, you can sign Will Ospreay and throw him onto Collision. That's must-see TV. You have to cancel all your plans on Saturday nights. That way you can catch that show.
Hey. Also, if they want to put him on there, Tony Khan gonna have to pay top flight money to keep him flying back home and back, home and back.
I mean, hopefully. I hope they were able to fire CM Punk and not give him any of his money. And that would have freed up a whole lot of capital for Tony Khan and AEW.
I think Tony Khan's a good guy. I think he's gonna give him all his money and just say goodbye.
Should he get his money?
I mean, it all depends on what's in their contract. I don't know.
Let's say, let's ignore what the contract may say, because I feel like there's probably something in there where if you punch a coworker, they probably don't have to pay you your money.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say the contract doesn't hold Tony Khan to where he had to pay Punk. Should he pay Punk?
I say he should pay him at least a month worth of salary. That's it, a month. A month.
See, and I say not a damn dime.
Just a month. Because I'm just saying a month because Tony Khan is too nice of a guy. He got a good heart. He's a fan. And Mr. Fan will be like, I'm just going to give you month pay, and that's it. Goodbye.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't even know.
That's for sure.
I don't even know if they got a 90-day clause, tell you the truth.
It seems to be a nobody really knows. Nobody knows if there's a non-compete clause in there. Do you think WWE would sign CM Punk?
I don't know. I don't know at this point. Because Triple H, he still don't like him. Vinnie Mac, he said he would take him back, even though he did sue him and got money from him.
Vince would always do what's best for business. If he thought he could draw enough money off of the guy.
Yeah. So it's
Um, here's the thing: the pro wrestling fans are very fickle. Like, if we're going on the idea of like people being of their word, if CM Punk were to sign with WWE, all of his fans should turn on him immediately.
I mean,
he's going against everything he said.
I'll never go back to WWE. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a place for CM Punk in pro wrestling anymore, because I think he can't fit into the culture of a locker room, because I think he was gone for too long. I think that time away, a new generation came into a locker room, and people evolved as human beings, and he never evolved past the conduct that was acceptable in a wrestling locker room in 2011. So the idea that you feeling as though you're the senior guy, you can tell people what they can and can't do. He thinks you can punch a coworker, and I think he's failed to evolve into a generation that can have a conversation if they disagree with each other and they don't have to punch each other. And I think that he just thinks that if you're the guy, you can get away with whatever you want. And he's not going to be the guy in WWE.
Okay. I don't think he's going to go. I don't think he's going to go.
Either. I don't think they would take it.
I think he would just show up at Survivor Series. That's about it.
Be in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
If they were going to use it, it'd be the spot to use it. But I just think, man, I think he's tainted goods. He's a hard guy to sign to a long deal. Like,
I know.
like Moxley said, fragile mind, fragile body, fragile ego. You can't book a show around the guy. He taught us that.
Mm-hmm. But I'd say this. If WWE was to sign him, he would have to wait another year to have his goal in life, the main event in WrestleMania.
I don't think they would ever, under any circumstances, give CM Punk a WrestleMania main event.
I'm just saying.
I think the fact that they can keep him from achieving that goal means more to them than any money they could ever draw with the guy. Because I don't think you could really draw that much if CM Punk goes back to WWE. I think the whole folklore of the character is that he's anti-WWE now. If he goes back, I think you no longer have that fan base that wants to buy the merchandise, that wants to sing his entrance music, that wants to hear his promos. If he goes back, he can no longer be the voice of the voiceless. He's then nothing but a sellout. The character becomes ruined.
And that's like every single Cleveland fan who turned their back on LeBron James, but he came back. Yep. And y'all just, woo, forgot he did that. Yeah, we forget
That was some of the dumbest shit I ever seen in my entire life.
Hey.
A whole city full of people mad at a guy who got a better job. Didn't make any sense. But with that, and we had a good recap of Payback. We little preview of All Out tonight for anyone who's tuning in to watch a hyped up episode of Dynamite, which is what the All Out pay-per-view is. But I still think it's going to be great matches. So if you have the opportunity to tune in, I think you should. But with any luck, this is the last time we talk about backstage drama with CM Punk until perhaps he does an interview and airs his side, or he does something else in the world of professional wrestling. I really, 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 really hope this is the last time we have to have a negative conversation about CM Punk. I hope the next time it can be something positive.
Give it about a month.
Before we get something positive, or you think we're going to just have more negative?
It's like every time CM Punk leaves somewhere, you hear his side a month later. So that's why I said give it a month.
Yeah. Well, in 2014, when he walked out, he went out there and he sat down with Colt Cabana and they did a podcast together, and they created a whole different shitstorm.
Mm-hmm.
So with that knowledge that, once Punk leaves somewhere for good, that he likes to sit down and do a podcast with somebody, I would like to take this opportunity to say, I absolutely do not want to interview CM Punk. Don't want it. I don't want it at all. I don't want it near the brand. I don't. If he messaged me right now and offered to join us live, I'm not letting him hop on. I'm not getting involved in a lawsuit like Colt Cabana did.
Whoa.
My mom
People.
passed in 2018. I can't have all my money in her bank account like he does. I can't do it.
Ignore what he said. I'll do the talking for you, okay? Ignore what he said. I'll do the talking.
You're right. You want to talk to CM Punk?
I'll do the talking for you. If I got, I might not got a lot in my bank account, but I will take the fall, okay?
Oh, man, I don't know. Legally, can I get out of trouble if Mark has the conversation? If Mark, all right, Erie, you know what? This is how. Just give it, Mark. You want to? I think perhaps that it's with that being said, I think it's probably only right that we end the show one way. And let me give Mark. You want the hat? He's gonna have the hat. We're gonna bring him back. All right. I guess big guy wants me to talk. Wait. CM Punk, but I don't want to. All right. All right. This is on.
You're on.
So here we go. You sure? Yeah. Go ahead. All right. This is a legal notice that I, Mark the Monster Clementine, and speaking for myself, not necessarily as a representative of the Don't Say the F Word podcast. What I am offering does not legally bind the big guy Jeremy, illegal brother-in-law Joe, to anything of what I'm offering up, as I am legally not attached to this, and neither are they. So nobody sue us because all you're going to get is my bill. Anyway, if anyone out there is able to contact Bill Brooks, Mr. CM Punk, if he would like to join us on Don't Say the F Word podcast, he can sit down with an interview exclusively with me, Mark the Monster Clementine. I will handle all the questions. I will. He's free to speak his mind. And if anything legally happens, you guys can just sue him specifically. He's got way more money than any of us. And he seems to like being in court. Yeah, and he probably has a lot of things to say. And the big guy doesn't really want to talk to him because he seems to bring up a lot of trouble. And well, I'm willing to bet the big guy probably has beef with Punk from some point in time of Punk's MMA career. Okay, so if Punk wants to come on, Mark will talk to him. You and Mark can talk to CM Punk if he wants to come on our show. You tag Punk. So, if that ever happens, that ever comes about, I will happily excuse myself from the podcast, as I do not want to be attached to anything he has to say, because I know for sure I do not win in court against Tony Khan's lawyers.
Hey, look at it this way. It's not like he's gonna answer my comment. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
I don't know, man. You never know. Back in the day, Forrest Griffin started some beef with me on Twitter and then blocked me. So you never know.
Never know.
I still stand by my statement, though. I could take Forrest Griffin in a fight. 100% even said. Both in our 40s. There's a senior MMA division somewhere. I still smash Forrest Griffin.
You do that. I'll be waiting to see that. I'll be waiting to see that too.
But with that, thank you everyone who has checked us out live on Instagram. Check not live. If you're on Spotify, Rumble, YouTube, Google Podcast. What's that fruit thing that you use?
Oh, Apple?
Yeah, there you go. Whatever that thing is. If anywhere you're checking us out, we appreciate it. And we will be back later on this week. We'll talk Raw. We'll talk SmackDown. Yes, I'm actually going to upload it. In my defense, that podcast was Mark and Joe.
Hey.
For Friday night, when you guys went live watching SmackDown, Mark didn't upload to anything.
Oh, he did? Oh.
He just went live with you. I had to upload it yesterday.
Oh. I thought he did that. Oops.
He was flipping. I was busy. I was working.
Oh. Oops.
Right?
Oops. Yeah.
But thank you, everyone, for checking us out. We appreciate it. Joe, thank you for your time, and we'll catch you guys later. We're out.
Out.